Hi everyone, I'm Abby Belport, and today I'm going to be discussing the perception of Under Armour and the retail industry as a whole. So before I get started, I'm going to go over an agenda real quick. So I'm going to start off by giving a brief history of Under Armour as a company. I'm going to give an overview of the retail industry as a whole. Then I'm going to go more in depth and discuss Under Armour's competitors, their target market, and some of their marketing techniques, which include commercials, logos, and slogans. And then finally, I'm going to give an overall perception of Under Armour as a company. So starting off, in 1995, a football player at the University of Maryland, Kevin Plank, came up with this idea for Under Armour. In 1996, Plank launched his company, and by the end of the year, his sales totaled $17,000. In 1997, Plank sold over $100,000 worth of product to multiple teams in the NFL. And in 1998, Under Armour was asked to create uniforms for for an American sports movie, Any Given Sunday, which starred Al Pacino, which was great publicity because this movie was shown all across the United States, which really helped get Under Armour's name out there. In 2000, Under Armour launched their national advertising campaign, which really helped them segue into getting into retail stores because in 2002, their products could be found in over 2,500 retail stores nationwide. And in 2015, Under Armour made approximately $1.83 billion in total sales. And then at the end of 2019, they reported that they made approximately $5.27 billion in sales. So moving on to an overview of the retail industry, looking at my PowerPoint, the slide is a graph, and the x-axis is years, and the y-axis is dollars. And you can see that from year to year, the retail industry has continually grown from each year to the last, and they continue to grow. Even though this graph is a little out of date, we can tell that the retail industry has continued to grow because Under Armour follows a strict trend with this industry. So we can see that if Under Armour has been growing, the retail industry has grown too. When discussing Under Armour's competitors, its two main competitors are Nike and Adidas, with its secondary competitors being New Balance, Puma, Fila, and Lululemon. But Under Armour has really cornered a specific segment of the athletic apparel market, because we know Nike and Adidas are two big main brands of this type of clothing and sporting apparel. And what I mean by this is when discussing the difference between Nike and Under Armour, people see Nike as a more wealthy brand that is really just meant to be fashionable and and stylish. But when discussing Under Armour, they perceive it to be like tough, strong, very outdoorsy and athletic. And they think people that wear Under Armour will be perceived to be in shape. Moving on to target market. So Under Armour's target market is male or females between the ages of 17 and 49. And they also target professional and college athletes to really make partnerships and sponsorships and things of that nature. And they also target people who are active. So it doesn't matter if you're the college athlete or a professional athlete. They also target people that are just very invested in their fitness and very invested in health. Moving on to marketing technique, Under Armour has two strategies when it comes to getting their ads and their new products out to the public. So their two main strategies are commercials and partnerships, and I'll talk a little bit more about commercials later in the PowerPoint, but they really serve to provoke an emotional response from the public because they show team bonding and people working hard for what they want, and it makes the audience want to succeed and want to work as hard as those people are doing. And also in these commercials, they put people's favorite athletes that are branded with Under Armour. So for example, on my slide, I have Tom Brady, who is a partner with Under Armour, who is sponsored by Under Armour. And then this really helps that he's in those types of commercials because then his following and his sports fans will see that he's in the commercial, and it'll just make them want to wear Under Armour because their favorite athlete is wearing Under Armour. So like I said, commercials, two of their more famous commercials is The Only Way is Through and Protect This House. The Only Way is Through really shows people just like getting down to like the nitty gritty of it and really working hard and pushing to succeed, and it shows them winning and being victorious, and it shows in the beginning it starts out with someone losing and then they work to come back. It's kind of that underdog feel. And then in Protect This House, it's just showing how you have to work hard, and it really gives you a feeling of victory watching these. Like, it really makes, it's just an all-around feel-good type of commercial. Moving on to their logo, after doing my research, I found that the colors black and white were chosen for a reason. They chose white because it represents the charm and the elegance of the company. And then they chose black because that reflects courage, excellence, and prestige. And like they just want to be viewed that way. So we can see that just by their logo in itself, it's just showing that they want to be perceived as elegant, but also strong, and they want to be seen as excellent. Looking at the slogans for Under Armour, some of the more famous ones, Protect This House, The Only Way is Through, like I said, they use those in their commercials to tie in. So when you see these slogans on a sign or a billboard or anything like that, your mind automatically goes back and starts to think about the commercials that you saw, and you rethink about those feelings, and it really just makes you want to go and be affiliated with this brand over others. And then they started doing underneath the Protect This House, it's will you, and then on other ones it says I will. So really it's inviting the audience to interact with the brand. Will you protect this house? Will you fight for the victories? And so on and so forth. And then finally, perception. They want to be perceived as a strong and serious athlete. Like if you're wearing Under Armour, people think that you're like tough, and they think that you're athletically inclined and outdoorsy. And that's how like the brand Under Armour has been perceived over the past couple years, and it probably will continue to be perceived as this way because they keep putting out like ads and marketing techniques and marketing campaigns that make the public see it as such. Because Under Armour is perceived by the public as being so serious in fitness and in sports and athletics, it'll keep their customers coming back and keep their customers loyal because it offers an incentive to these customers that if they wear the Under Armour branded clothing, that people will look at them as being serious in their health and fitness and serious in sports and athletics, and people view them as outdoorsy and strong and resilient, and these customers want to be affiliated with Under Armour because the perception that it has, or the perception that the world sees it in, and it'll just keep their customers coming back for more and keep the customers loyal. Thank you.